Here we go. Oh my God, Harjeet. And here's what's funny, Samina. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and Harjeet's going to say no to this. She won't be able to do it, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is how it goes. Integrity Choices every Monday, 2 hours. 2 hours. That's it. 7 to 9. Somebody's in the hot seat for 1 hour maximum, and then Samina takes it over and completes it however she completes it. 1 hour. And everybody has the same commitment you have, which is Integrity Choices is that one day, right? One day. So in other words, if this is how you explain this to Wanda, by the way, we could just give her this. When you want to explain the program to her, Wanda, if you want to join this thing, here's how it works. For 12 weeks, at least for 12 weeks, we think it's going to end up being 6 months, but for 12 weeks, every Monday, non-negotiable, just happens to be your favorite time, Wanda. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., that's when the program is delivered. Scott is always talking first with someone's in the hot seat, and then Samina takes the mess that Scott created and completes everything in an hour for the rest of the group. And just like the passion projects offer that Harjeet agreed to, which is that we own your ass for the day. Isn't that how it goes, Samina? Something like that. You don't have to. I know you're silenced right now. You're muted, but I'm going to imagine you're nodding your head because I can't see you or hear you. That's why it'll work. It'll only work that way. That's why you have a different program than everybody else, Samina. I just saw it now. It's because you actually make the commitment that the whole day is whatever shows up at Integrity Choices. The whole day you have free, right? That is your one day. So Harjeet deserves this. That's why I want her to say yes. I want Harjeet to negotiate with her husband, her family, whatever she's got to do to make it so that she can say yes to receiving this, a big part of this thing with Wanda and you, right? And the only way it could work is if everybody makes sure that they've carved out and they're able to. Either you can or you can't. Just like what I did at Landmarks ILP. It was a 6-month, 7-month commitment. And when you said yes to it, you would only say yes on the condition they gave you the whole schedule. Here's when you're in New York, this week, that week, this week, 4 weeks. And if you couldn't make one of those weekends, then that's fine. You're going to go to Montreal then, or you're going to fly to Australia. That's what we had to do. Nafisha, when she said yes, she had to fly to England because she had a reason she could not go to New York. Let's say that. People just have to understand we need to be upfront with exactly why this program is so powerful. Vadim and Liz, they knew that was their day, whether their Integrity Choices was on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, whatever day it was, right? They knew that day they had to travel here and then travel back, and that whatever they would go home and do was all related to the homework. It was just implied. We own their ass for the day, right? We need to be able to be in communication and connect with each other as a group on that one day. You need to be available for Harjeet if she needed to have a question related to, something, her work for that day. And you would joyfully, wouldn't you, Samina? Now you could join in. Now you can turn on your camera, and now you can put on your audio. And I'm going to ask you that question again. If I told you that Integrity Choices is going to look like this, right? If Harjeet says yes. Hold on. It's like this. It's a 2-hour program, 7 to 9, new person in the hot seat. And you're creating all the structures for everybody. We're doing it together, but you just got to go with what you got to do, right? And new people are joining in organically, new people in the hot seat. And it's like you are with them, doing the program with them for the day. Mm-hmm. And there's a place where people can communicate. So they're not just getting support from the leader. There's a group, a Facebook group, like the 1111 coaching group right now. where people could communicate, where they might need some support. Hey, anyone got time to get on a Zoom call right now? And da da da. And it's just like the tribe supports the tribe for one day. Like that Integrity Choices is not about you anymore. It's like, yeah, you're going to be in the hot seat as well, right? And it's just, we're there for them for one day. Like we're there for a whole group for one day. It's like that day is both Samita's Integrity Choices program. Like you get everything you get from me. Look at this. It hasn't even been 2 hours yet. And we're done, by the way. We are done. And now I'm just telling you how the Integrity Choices program is going to look like in this beautiful offering that you could have Harjeet say yes to it. You could have Imthiel say yes to it. Imtiaz. You could have anybody you want to say yes to it. But there's some conditions. We own your ass on Mondays, right? Up until a certain time, like whatever that is, Samita, right? And you're there being supported by me, right? Because what happens? The session ends. I'm editing footage, getting that footage to all the members to listen to, right? And then, we're supporting yourself and the other members after that 2 hours in some way. Maybe, Wanda, can you come back at 3 p.m. and I'm going to be there to see how you're doing, because I'm going to be doing some projects of my own right now. And now I have an urgency to do it because I want to get my stuff done before I have my first call with one of the members. Maybe there's a second group meeting in it, and everybody comes on at a certain time. Maybe it's individual. It could be different. It doesn't matter. We don't know what it'll be. All we know is that we need to say, just like passion projects, we thought it through. And we said, passion projects, we have to own your day, ask for the day. Scott's going to talk to you, consult with you, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to talk with Scott. Then you're going to come back at 3 p.m. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to edit this. Just see how it was completely thought through? Mm-hmm. That's all that's happening. We're just now, right now, this is the program that you're allowing out of abundance Wanda to be part of. Even if Harjeet says no, it is the program. Starts with, yes, it's free for you and Harjeet, right? Yes. And here's how it works. I own your ass for 12 weeks. You just explain how it works. It's not just like 2 hours and then they're all on their own. It's like you're able to be like that, Samita, because you've been in this so long and you're very clear, and but it's just the one day. The one day that is about you putting your well-being first. That always comes first. It happens in your Integrity Choices session, right? 2 hours. And then, people are listening to their footage. While they're listening to their footage, you are, maybe talking to me about what we need to continue to talk about for you, right? And then we talk about that. And then you're setting up appointments with the other people, right, to do the same for them. It's like it starts with 2 hours. Isn't that how a passion project is? I say you got 2 hours with Scott, 4 hours, whatever. It's 2 hours. He never needs 4 hours. My God. It's like 2 hours, right, with Scott. And then boom, now there's 2 hours with Samita and you. Well, Samita was with Scott, talking about them. The difference is we're going to be talking about them and you. And then you come on these calls with these people to continue the delivery of part 2 of their Integrity Choices session, which is a group program with a different person in the hot seat every time. So what I want you to do right now, in a really, really, really messy way, I want you to talk to Harjeet and tell her whatever the heck you can tell, knowing that, hey, I have no problem if we edit the footage and show Harjeet the session completely, what happened here that led up to it. Did you not tell me that Harjeet will listen to anything you say? Mm-hmm. So this is it. Whatever message you say to Harjeet is the same message that'll go to anyone. Anyone wants to, hey, I got this thing. It's the same message you'll send to Wanda. In fact, instead of talking to Wanda about Integrity Choices, you could do this. Hey, Wanda, if you'd like to know how Integrity Choices has evolved for the better, prior to our call, so we could, we're going to talk about, the video you watch to get complete. But I also want to let you know straight up front, don't hide that which you shouldn't be hiding. She should know this thing's happening on her preferred day, her favorite day to do this kind of thing. Just happens to work out that way. You're sharing it. So you could either talk to Wanda or you could talk to Wanda and Ravinderjeet. And if Wanda's watching this right now, and that's how you choose to let her say it, so I'd be saying this. I'm going to say it for you so you don't have to. Wanda, we have no idea what goes on in Ravinderjeet's world. The Ravinderjeet. Oh, sorry. I keep calling her mother's name. Sorry. Wanda, we have no idea what's going on in Harjeet's world. And of course, Ravinderjeet is welcome to be in the program too. Of course, her mother. Of course, right? They could both listen to this. We have no idea what's going in Harjeet's world or Ravinderjeet's world. I'm going to trust there was a reason why I said her name again. That's weird, eh? Right? Ravinderjeet, Harjeet, just know you're welcome to this thing for free. And we have no idea if this is something that would resonate with them, if this is something that they actually are able to like set aside what is required to set aside for us to accept them in the program. We have no idea. But we can only assume probably not, right? The demands of what we're asking and demanding of anybody to be in this program is the same that I demand of you, why it always works with you, which is I own your ass for that day. Mm-hmm. Right? Meaning the program owns your ass for that day. It's not really I own your ass. You know what I mean? Wanda and Ravinderjeet and Harjeet are watching this. So just talk messy to all three of them or just one of them at a time. And it'll be all, because these are three people that don't judge you or they judge you or me. And they already know I'm a freak and they already know how to get you. As long as it takes, I want you to make them this offer.
Yeah, and you mean Wanda and Harjeet.
And Ravinderjeet. Okay. I want her mother because the same thing. If it turns out Ravinderjeet is like, yes, unlike my daughter, I can say yes and carve out for 12 weeks and do that. I could do that. So yes, I'd like to talk to you further about this. If she said that she could and her daughter didn't, would you not like be so delighted that we could provide this for Ravinderjeet? Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, Ravinderjeet and anybody else. I'd send this to Clarence. I'd send this to Catherine. I'd send this to anybody that Jennifer Chow. I'd send this to anybody that has supported your well-being the way they have. The amount of sleep that the people have given you, the names I've just mentioned, the amount of sleep that you have gotten because these people have and that new lady who, whatever her name was from yesterday, that post that you wrote, hey, I tried to go live twice. Would anybody, if I went live in 1 minute from seeing you say, yes, be there, right? Whoever that woman is, she's invited from me personally. That lady, I love that lady. I looked at her Facebook. I think she's beautiful. I just love that lady, and she's included. That's that whatever you say, that lady who is on the Facebook Live with you and got you sleep. I hope she says yes. I hope she can. But guess what? This program is so demanding that most people cannot say yes. So go ahead. What's that lady's name that I'm talking about? I want to make sure she's being represented. I want her in this program.
I think, no, not I think. I think it's pronounced Gwen.
Gwen? Okay, perfect. That it doesn't matter if you got it right. That's who, that lady. I know, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to be representing Gwen. In fact, while you're talking, I'm going to take off my camera and you're just going to talk and I'm going to go on your timeline for myself, mute myself, and I'm going to go find out her name so I know for sure what her name is and get connected to her. I'm going to make sure she's represented here. But all you got to do is represent the people you love that have gotten you so much sleep. Give me names of people that have gotten you sleep, that are Jennifer Chow, Catherine, Clarence, people that if they heard and watched this whole conversation and said, yep, it works for me to give my whole day on Mondays for 12 weeks to this thing that Samina is going to do her best to describe. And guess what? You're going to describe it very well. You know, it's, you know how oftentimes just go ahead and say it all messy and confusing. It don't matter. They're going to get it. But the thing is, I know something. You're speaking to Harjeet. You're speaking to Wanda. You're speaking to Clarence. You're speaking to Catherine. You're speaking to Jennifer. You're speaking to anybody else that I have not gotten present to that you just would love it if it, what a surprise. Like it would be a complete surprise if any of them even said yes to this. Right? Because it's a big, big commitment. Even though they're not paying the 5, 10 grand or whatever, it's a huge commitment to just give your time to this thing, you know, not knowing much. So go ahead and speak to whoever you want to speak to. And I would challenge you to go ADHD and pull a Scotty and allow yourself, if all of a sudden you find yourself thinking about Clarence, then speak to Clarence. If all of a sudden you're thinking about Catherine, speak to Catherine. Just go ADHD, even though you only know what that looks like from watching my life. Say it from the heart, what this thing is, and what the commitments are, and why you want them to say yes, understanding that of all probability, people have commitments on Mondays that they can't say yes to this. They'd have to move shit out of their life to say yes. So don't be attached. Know that out of 9 people, 1 of them will say yes, even though they love you and want to say yes. Go. 1, 2, 3.